Beloved one, welcome to the heart of the Alps, the lands of the White Lady Goddess. They are the home of true pristine beauty and magic of the ancient elven heritage, the sacred portal of the white ray of purity and harmony, where all of the natural elements come synthesized together as one in unity consciousness. Welcome. The sacred portal of the Alps holds the magical gateway of purity and simplicity of being. The great portal of the new earth that is located in the Alps is the home of the sacred fire of the white ray, which is a synthesizing ray of unity consciousness that promotes harmony and simplicity of being, true soul liberation, and embodied freedom of the soul. The white ray is required as a synthesis of all the natural elements as well as all rays of embodiment. The white light is the light of the absolute truth, which is required for all true spiritual seekers, aspirants, and initiates of spirit and self-mastery that are seeking to embody divine truth and perfection. When the initiate of spirit is ready to ascend on a soul level, they are first required to perform a synthesis of all of their experiences of the soul and all the previously mastered cycles. Through the white ray, one is ready to clear away absolutely everything that is no longer beneficial and necessary for the soul and its genuine evolution, and enter into a completely new cycle of experience of being, where a new garment of white light is overlaid. Through a sacred purification act and ritual, the soul is ready to become crystallized and pure in its authentic essence of the prime light. The soul is ready to ascend, descend, and illuminate through its experience of the overlighted mastery. Yes, the white ray of the absolute truth is also a ray of clarity, deep understanding, and crystallized wisdom. Through walking the pathway of clarity and devotion to the highest, a spiritual seeker is ready to become a spiritual knower and master in its complete soul integration. The level of wisdom that is crystallized marks the pathway of walking in devotion to unity consciousness and becoming a universal guide for others, the many seekers that are moving into the embodied light of unity. As one masters and refines themselves through the white ray of purity, one is fully liberated, authentically free in the flow of their life force, a true channel for the life force of the Great Spirit. The initiation into the white ray of the Absolute in total purity might require many lifetimes and dedications to the One through the right thought, word, and deed. The actions and deeds of the soul go through a karmic recycling, so to say, in entire absolution, which acts as a dissolution of all that is untrue and false within distortions and illusions. Here, one must be ready to witness, recognize, and hold everything within the truth alignment. This requires complete divine trust, strength, and courage. When one is ready for such revelation, all the soul processes that are accrued within the white ray shall unfold naturally without any pressure or egoic will, for the soul matures in its tendencies and becomes ready to enter into the divine will of the Great One, the source of all life in creation, as masculine and feminine aspect of God, the Great Godhead. The initiation into the white ray is between the initiate and spirit. It is not an act of outside illusions and confirmations. Therefore, one must become completely surrendered of the outside appearances, expectations, judgments, comparisons, and other selfish, egoic pursuits of separation consciousness. There are many levels of attaining unity by transcending separation, and yet the white ray is that final destination for the initiative spirit, that final call towards true soul purity in its genuine design of source, devotion, dedication to the Most High, and self-mastery. This is how one initiates the physical ascension pathway through soul alchemy, which can only occur when all other rays and experiences within them are gathered from seeming fragmentation, synthesized as one whole unit and fully unified. When this is ready to occur as an inner alchemy, one will know that it is so, for there will be no more separation between them and their higher self, meaning that one will become the crystalline embodiment of their higher self in the holy Christed consciousness and the sacred white fire of all life in creation. This path begins with complete understanding, respect, and compassion for all life in creation. This includes all experiences, life forms, and such. Such are the spiritual laws that lead one into the understanding of creation principles that govern all divine design and unity consciousness. Such are the choosing requirements for the path of physical ascension. Such is the devotion to the white ray. There are many and several portals into the new Earth Paradise Gateway on the planet, and the Alps and their belonging white ray are one of these majestic anchor points for that manifestation of the living reality. As the sacred ascension flame was carried throughout the many lands on the planet, it was decided where each ray of the new earth and its meridians would be. And so the great call went out to the sacred guardians of these places, the 64 creation pillars and their grand designs that hold within them the perfected design of the new earth template. This template comes from the divine plan of perfection, and these sacred guardians are ancient beings, the galactic and celestial guardians of the great legacy that came into being at the prime spark in the divine design for this planet from the very beginning of its creation. The sacred guardians have held the sacred template from the very beginning, and so as the great 64 pillars, which are the creation seals and signature, came into being, each held the assignment to maintain them at their highest level of purity of the immaculate design of the Godhead. Each creation pillar, known to all life in creation as a creation angel, was completely aligned with its task and purpose to the very last detail. They held this design in the higher realms, descending down, pouring through the ethereal energies, dropping into physical form only through the majestic creation pillar that becomes a physical embodiment. So therefore, the physical manifestation of a creation seal is only possible through the direct descent, which is a physical manifestation of a particular pillar and their essence. Their tasks are always sacred as they hold the prime creator's design, which is sung into being through the sacred creation song, sung by creation angels themselves. It was decided that when each of the pillars would manifest, become materialized on the physical plane of existence, and at which resonant place of that frequency and the perfect physical location would be known. So each being got its blessing from the divine source, the prime creator's light, and each was only able to manifest physically when enough light was gathered on the physical plane that actually supported that particular creation pillar in their purpose. So when the collective group soul complex was ready to ascend into its organic and perfected form, when the group soul complex was ready to culminate and return into its parent soul prototype design, it was designed through a divine dispensation that the creation pillar shall become embodied in its fullest prime light. Through their physical embodiment, they would bring all the codes written within their inherent and also divinely inherited divine DNA of the Prime Source. These ancient beings are also known to mankind as the fifth element, for they synthesize all of the four elements gathered together in their ancient knowledge complex. This knowledge is intrinsically connected, and these beings are not just individual embodiments, for rather they carry within them all the codes of the entire group soul complex, making them a 144 prototype for a celestial embodiment of the oversoul design. As they would all fulfill their original divine design, they would influence the whole through their powerful essence of the perfection of love, wisdom, and power. Only when all of them would fulfill their divine purpose individually through the unified design would the Ascension light be fulfilled in its entirety. So you see, there is not just one group ascension, for there exist its prime counterparts that need to come together as one, non-physically and physically, as above, so below, and as within, so without. Through the manifestation of all of their embodiments, the light quotient for the ascension plan and the divine timeline would be complete. They are also known as divine mothers and fathers, the creation power souls that are summoned up only when the turning of the ages begins. So when the sacred planetary alchemy requires a passing from one stage into another. As they come into physical embodiment, everything begins to change simply because of their luminescent presence. Everything starts to shift simply through their powerful presence of being. Their energy radiates and reaches through the entire creation pillar that they're working with as a physical vortex place, as they connect to the sacred lands, the ley lines, and the energy that is being channeled through them into the living lands of creation, the living libraries of the planetary crystalline structure of being. So, how does one creation pillar actually fulfill their purpose in the divine plan? What do they require, and how do they become fully aware of their mission through the Almighty I Am Presence, the great Godhead of all? When a creation pillar is born into the world of existence, they need to go through the rites of passages and the veils of forgetfulness just like everyone else. They're not special or chosen in that particular way. Their calling begins in their early childhood as they're being strongly guided to nature and all things of the natural world. As they begin to explore, remember the world of creation, they're like beautiful divine children playing with all that is offered to them through the boundless beauty of Source. But they play with all of their heart, as their spirit watches over them and makes sure that everything goes according to the divine plan. Later on, they have to go through the perfectly designed and chosen imprinting for their soul's accommodation and awakening as they begin the journey of self-mastery in this physical plane of existence through soul embodiment. Their spirit initiations are numerous and mostly orchestrated through nature as well, for they get all of their perfect ingredients, so to say, for their chosen path through the pathway of nature. For nature is all life in creation through the great life force. As they begin to mature in their sacred purpose of serving all life in creation, they will each be called by their soul parent, by their soul home, which is their prime creation pillar. They each have one, and yet they're interconnected together as one creation unit. As they begin to manifest their chosen destiny through their sacred vortex grid points, they begin to take on more of the collective imprinting, so to say, which are all of the energy signature of that creation place to be worked with in soul embodiment for the complete rewrite and purification of that pillar. They need to actually live those out through their life experiences in a natural way, as everything comes to them organically as spirit initiation for each of those divine signatures at play. Their main calling is to restore those gathered fragments of the whole in order to synthesize and unify them with their own divine memory codes of divine perfection. So that is why everything that is naturally pure and refined through divine grace appeals to them. It calls them out through the magic of all life. They have the purity codes within them, which originate from the prime source design as the coming into all life came to be. The memory of the sacred perfection and how all that is of the prime light truly and should be is not always easy for them to handle, for the lack of thereof on the physical plane of existence can often have them and leave them feeling homesick and alienated, so feeling like they don't truly belong. In truth, they themselves are the belonging frequency of the divine home, for prime source light strongly radiates through them. When they begin to fully accept that, they stop searching for that outside of themselves, which makes them whole in actual embracing their core creation mission. And that is when that purpose truly begins. When they mature into that, they can begin infusing their creation vortex with immense light frequency of creation in complete illumination. When they relax, let go, and surrender to the great collective life force of unified spirit that works through them in all of its majestic presence, they begin to commit to their purpose more effortlessly in full devotion. This is always known to them through their hearts. At this stage, they begin to consciously work with the great life force in sacred devotional union and unity consciousness. This is when they can become fully illumined also in their physical form, and their past experiences that took them this far along the journey of divine remembrance can now be surrendered, synthesized, and brought into the wholeness of new being and illumined perspective. Their missions of self-mastery are unique. So as they stop comparing their reasons for being with anything or anyone else, they begin to fully engage with life and make everything holy as they truly are. And as they plant their creation roots and walk their sacred feet on the planet, this is when they simply begin to be who they truly are in full awareness and ancient wisdom. Life begins to reflect who they are, for they are life itself. They are the spark and origin of creation. Every experience they have from this point on is fully conscious, awake, and illumined. They have become the divine purpose that is manifest in human form, fully merged with their creation pillar and the mission that they embody. This is when they serve from unity consciousness, and every moment and every experience they have ever had guided them here. They are one, whole, and unified. They become as pure as Source itself. And this is when the exciting journey and total reassimilation and interconnectedness of all life truly begins. Although the mission of a creation pillar is a beautiful one, it also has its many ups and downs, its trials and tribulations, challenges of the earthly life, as one who is an ascended descended comes upon this plane of existence. Creation pillars are tools for powerful energy transmissions and transmutations. And as they descend down upon the planet, they're working with massive amount of light, which means that they are needing to become a powerful conduit for the pure energy that needs to travel through the ethereal planes up until they descend into the physical planes of this earth. which means that they act as an intermediary force that directs these energies. So the first step is that they become a clear, conscious vessel for these energies that need to come and descend upon the planet in these alteration times. And the second stage is to integrate those energies, while the third phase is spreading them out through the lands. Wherever they walked upon with their golden white footsteps, they're changing energy. They're mixing the energy up, and they are transmuting old energies. And that is how they work. So their main mission, first and foremost, is how they associate with the planet. So the first purpose always belongs to the frequency of the planetary core herself. They're not in the knowing always of what is happening. Their only knowing is the strong calling, the pull to be at the right place at the right time, to receive the proper energies, to balance them out, to neutralize them in an equalized polarity, mastering themselves, and then spreading the emanation of these energies outward. This is how they act, and their service is always through divine love. They're not always understood by others, because their task is so different and sometimes very challenging, because the energies they're working with are powerful creation vortex energies that when they travel through their bodies, their earthly vehicles, they're going to be felt in an intense way, which often leaves them drained, depleted, and very exhausted. That's a part of their challenge, but when they're capable of transmuting that into pure liquid light of spirit and earthly emanations that represent that in pure reflection, they're going to feel nothing but immense joy and gratitude for their service. Their lives are different than that of most others, because they need to be in the secluded areas when they start doing their mission channeling work, so that they can be very much devoted to that and attentive to that energy transmutation. When they start that work, they might not understand it at the beginning stages of their missions. But later in life, as they progress and they start more intensely understanding themselves and how they operate in this world, they're going to be doing it more consciously rather than just unconsciously. That means that they will hold a greater capacity of light to transmute energy through soul alchemy, which will make them a potent force for the omnipresent life force that will start to flow through them in an intense way. They will often feel orgasmic bursts of energy that will start to flow through them, activating their own inner meridians to then connect to the leylands of the land and the powerful meridians of the planet, synthesizing, merging, and activating in the deep way. So therefore, they will always fluctuate in their states of energy, moving from very hyper states or hypersensitive states even into a more balanced states when they will need more rest, reflection, for that integration in the body to take place. That is the natural will of their purpose. And the strong will to be aligned with that purpose will hold them together and always bring everything to their path, so they will always be provided for with everything that they need for the mission, as long as they stay fully aligned with it. It is a deep honor to hold that mission. And as challenging as it is also very beautiful, because they learn to create in their own magical way, to transmute energy and to show others what they're capable of doing as well, as they start tapping into the powerful vortices through creation pillars, being guided by their work of service. So the more that they learn about the way that they function, the easier it will become for them to function in an earthly human body. So no, creation pillars are not in a way intended to move more towards the light, for they are of the light. They are source divine intervention in human bodies. And yet,
Their strongest mission will be to integrate the imbalanced polarities within this plane of existence to bring them back into wholeness and completion as they are in the great divine plan of perfection. So they will strive towards that perfection, but that perfection will not be in a way of being more perfect, but embracing the perfection that already is within the source nature of all life in creation. And as they will do so, they will naturally draw forth that perfection into every living stream and every atom of pure existence. This is their gift to the world. This is their planetary service. And this is who they are. Embrace them, love them as they love you, as all is love within the great unity consciousness. And all forth shall be always of love. Now, are you ready yourself to embrace and enjoy the blessing of the creation pillar so that you may feel this love of all that is natural in all of life in creation, the beauty and the majestic presence of everything that is natural and organic in this world, everything that was divinely made through the sacred song of all life, and how it sang itself into being so beautifully, magically, and effortlessly. Close your eyes and enter into a sacred space of spirit. Call upon the white light of creation in unity consciousness and start focusing upon how it slowly starts to move and descend into your physical form. That light is so beautiful, so pristine, and so pure that you start feeling like a beautiful shower of light is washing over you, leaving you as a blank slate, a clean slate. You are brand new. And you start feeling this so that everything that you will start experiencing will start to emanate from that white light of creation in unity consciousness. When you receive the blessing of the creation pillar, you live every day of your life, in every moment of your life, with the perspective of being a neutral observer and yet a most wondrous child of creation in awe of the majestic life force moving through all existence. You're simply rejoicing in that magic with everything that you see, witness, and experience, with all of your senses that move and extend beyond your three-dimensional five senses. With the blessing of the creation pillar, you start seeing the world with the eyes of magic, with the eyes of divine inspiration, which speaks to you, through nature, in the similarity of one unified spirit. When you receive that blessing, you will start noticing everything that is surrounding you in the world of nature as a blessing, a hidden message, something that speaks to you so profoundly through the nature of all that is of source. Every rock, every blade of grass, every raindrop, every grain of sand, every thread of earth that you can move through your hands with, every leaf, every tree, every ocean, lake, river stream, every mountain, every hill, every landscape. Take a deep breath now and feel yourself entering into a most wonderful sacred space that starts to reveal itself through the white light that is descending into you at this time. Feel how, with your natural inner senses, you start to tune into that sacred space. Look around you. This is a temple, the sacred ethereal temple in your heart. And feel what surrounds this place. What is this magical place comprised of? What natural elements can you find here? Tune into that and simply be present with it.
Feel your love for your own creation essence, for your own creation self, and for your own chosen space here on this planet, on this earth. Know that through this blessing, you are completely guided and protected and living your physicality where you need to be, allowing your physical temple to become the vessel of the Most High. With this knowing, with this affirmation, with this decree, you open yourself up to the magical possibilities that start showering through you, through the nature blessing of the realm that surrounds you. So as you connect your inner sacred space, that template, the seat of the soul, with the sacred creation spot surrounding you, you start tuning into the magic of that which is the eternal link between man and nature, between human and all that is humane. Nature, and its always so invigorating life force, is the biggest teacher that one can have, the biggest teaching and blessing that we can experience as humans on earth. And yet we have to most deeply tune into it. That doesn't mean we're simply going out to nature, going out for a walk, or taking some time off to meditate in nature. This means that on the deepest level of the root of our being, we're feeling our connection with every atom, every living molecule of Mother Earth, and all that is alive with pure consciousness and its life force. How do you do that? Simply, you need to start feeling with the deepest presence your own life force and how it moves through your own body. Imagine now this white light of unity consciousness that still moves through you, creating a solid, rock-solid pillar of white light that is creating a vortex within you. Imagine that this light now, the more that it moves into every cell of your being, into everything that makes you a physical being as well. Imagine that this light now starts to become as a water, as a body of water, a river, transparent, translucent, pure and crystallized, and always in motion, always in movement, always in fluctuation. As you see your body becoming as a river, you know that your life is a sacred offering for that life force which flows through that nature of the organic presence. With this blessing of the creation pillar, you invite a deeper union and communion with yourself and the life force of the Mother. You make a deep commitment to creation aspect of your being and choose to honor it every day as you walk upon this planet. For every day is a sacred gift. It is not a given, nor it is something we have to earn. It is simply something we need to melt into so that we can feel how deeply nourished and cherished we are through the life force. Up until the point that you no longer feel the separation between your own life force and the living life force of the planet. So that you can feel as that mountain, so that you can feel as that river, lake, or an ocean, so that you can feel as one with the wind, with the soft breeze running through you and your entire energy field, being as those leaves that are swaying from one side to the other, being as that river which flows endlessly and so magically, always finding its way forward. How do things in nature always function and are structured so organically with every detailed precision? That is a question that only your I Am Presence knows. As you connect to the life force, once you learn to observe everything in nature, up until the point that you almost feel like you became that essence, structure, or an element, then you will feel how everything is shown to you, and that you and your life is also always as such. Humans often don't trust this, and they need to create structures to prove them that they need to have a foundation and a goal, a direction in life. And yet, life in its infinite wisdom is always recreating itself in a natural way. The more we surrender to this magic, the more we become the living essence of that magic, crystallized, unified within divine grace. So now, as you feel your body becoming as that liquid light, moving from that river that flows through you, you can feel that that which began as only light starts to receive form, and that your form is flexible, is movable, is changeable. Through understanding this, you start to embrace the elemental nature of your being, which is so organic. And yet, as humans, we have made it corrupt. We have made it non-organic. We have made it non-authentic. So by receiving the blessing of the creation pillar, you're once again ready to activate and embrace that purity and innocence into your existence, into your physicality. For your aim in life is only to strive towards that which already is perfect, not to become more perfect, not to create perfection, but to understand that perfection, as it's reflected to us through nature, already is. And so we don't have to seek it. We only have to unwind with it. So this blessing is an opening, a gateway for you to truly know that to live as a new human on new earth is to be blessed by the interconnectedness with the mother of all life, just as well as the source. For the source and the mother of all life are actually one. And so you, as a being walking upon this planet, you were meant to laugh, to rejoice, to play, to so deeply co-create with the natural elements that you see no separation. And that is why you don't need to dominate over physicality, for you are as one with physicality. And that is how you shall always know your path as a magical being, that wondrous child of creation, just as every creation pillar is within the mission and purpose that they have received and are so diligently serving. By receiving this blessing, you welcome yourself into an effortless path of deep connection with every atom, molecule, and structure of all that is organic, making love with every element. You start off the creation experience as ethereal, and then that fire starts to blossom and create other forms and structures of itself. So each element is a direct reflection of the other element, for they also are intertwined. So when you know how to be deeply connected with nature, with all life in creation, you don't simply work with only one element. You embrace all of the elements so that you can become the magic of the soul alchemy, which is the nature of your changeable nature, and that which through your constant expansion and transcendence, you're always, through deep conscious presence, able to transform and transmute. By receiving this blessing, you welcome yourself into a physical body of a new human, homo luminous, a human that is as a divine lover, a playful child, willing to always create with that of the natural world, and knowing that there is no separation That means that everything that one perceives is a gift from all the creation pillars, as a gift of all life. For they, as it was shared, can only function as one unit when they coexist together. And so by becoming this magical being, you see yourself almost like living in a Garden of Eden, a paradise in a way, of your new self, sharing, rejoicing with your fellow comrades of spirit, with your fellow blessed ones who have understood and embodied what it truly means to be alive as a human, with the fullness of your life force activated and cultivated in your human body. How does one do that? One simply needs to start following their joy, not just partially, not just sometimes, but always. The element of joy speaks to us through the momentary enthusiasm and that which is deeply felt that needs to be experienced in this now moment, without any further delays or convictions from the other parts that are maybe not so aware and present. So when that feeling of joy is felt, it needs to be integrated in your human form so that you know what it actually means. So that you know what it actually means to walk this planet as a deeply conscious being. So that you know what it means to walk this planet as in compassionate, observing state with all life, engaging with all life as a neutral observer and conscious co-creator at the same time. That means never harming other life forms. That means treating all as you want to be treated. That means living as the essence of divine love in human form. And that, in its simplest form, is that true blessing of the creation pillar. That is what each creation pillar truly represents. And as you walk the magic lands, the landscapes of the Gaian paradise, you're becoming more aware of how this is all a gift of consciousness rediscovering itself, the meaning and the importance of this beauty. This beauty is not to be squandered away. This beauty is not to be disrespected or mistreated. This beauty is to be fully acknowledged and lived through the right responsible choices that you make through the blessing of the creation pillar. What does that mean? It means that you become a living representative for all that is of the natural world, for all that is truly organic and ascending in its rightful nature. So now, take one more deep breath, that true breath of life in its infinite life force. And feel how this new consciousness, which is actually a core creation consciousness that already exists within everyone and everything, waiting to be ignited and reactivated. You feel how this moves into every cell, into every fiber of your being. And so you ready yourself for that grand purification that comes with all of that. So yes, this path and this blessing might leave you confused at times because you are leaving the things that are of the old world, things that are unnatural, that are not organic. For a new human needs to be aware that their mission and purpose is to recreate that paradise on earth, that Garden of Eden, through the activation of that own inner essence within. And through the challenges that this devotion often brings, you will only grow expand, and thrive in a new way once the old is acknowledged and let go of. So now, see once again this white light becoming a river flowing through all of your body, through each cell, making a beautiful cohesion and synthesis in your body. And now, as you want to more deeply root this awareness in your being, you are ready to grow roots in this new way of your existence. And that is why now you see all of this water coming into this one still point. And this point of your observance now starts to grow through a most beautiful soil that is ready and fertile to give home and a sacred space to a beautiful tree with its roots moving deeply, anchoring into the core of the planet. As you do so, you also see a sacred circle full of magical stones that choose to represent your physical body creation pillar. So as you see them being placed around you in a circle of light, also see a spiraling movement of that white light that surrounds it, creating a circle of white light all around you, so that all that you're anchoring and rooting is of spirit, is moving from spirit into physical form. As you do so, you now see this consciousness moving through the roots of that tree that you're planting within the soil, moving from the bigger roots and then to the smaller roots, moving through the little tiny tentacles, which are like a nervous system of your tree of life, for that is what you're becoming. Blessed by living your creation pillar and the white light of unity and your own tree of life. And so you see how through these roots, this water, this river that moves through you, now also chooses to move through. And so everything that you're anchoring within the soil is still transparent. So the river that you are, the water, is still running and penetrating through. And this is how it finds its way into other roots, into other trees, into other powerful connection points, into other creation pillars. As you firmly ground your tree of life, imagine now closing your eyes to opening your eyes, but still within yourself, internally, not physically, and seeing your own magical space, your own creation pillar point of activation, and what you are seeding and planting within it. What is your main essence and purpose through your own tree of life? May you look around you and see this wondrous landscape with complete trust that you're always where you need to be, doing what you should be, and being who you truly are. May you now fully anchor and own the blessing of the creation pillar in full reverence and devotion to all that is of unity consciousness. May you be blessed with this sacred truth forever and always. Blessed be.